Tambora, an invitation to disappear. Once upon a time, a man visited Tambora and stopped at a random mosque to pray. By very large coincidence, in the same mosque was a king who is with two dogs. The visitor, without knowing who he was, complained about the fact that inside the sanctuary there are dogs. Later in the day, the king finds out about this complaint and invited the disgruntled guest to dinner. The stranger accepts the invitation, and the dinner ends with the king graciously says that they actually ate with the same dogs that were in the mosque. Enraged by this, the visitor judged the king and called him a devil. The king immediately ordered the guards to catch that man and execute him. They were to kill him and throw his body into the crater of the volcano. While the body was going down, however, the volcano was slowly showing signs of restlessness. As the army descended after the execution, the volcano thundered with monstrous pyroclastic flows.
A volcano is a rupture in the crust of a planetary mass object, such as Earth, that allows hot lava, volcanic ash, and gases to escape from a magma chamber below the surface. On Earth, volcanoes are most often found where tectonic plates either verging or converging, and most are found underwater. Volcanic eruptions have the power to destroy whole cities, alter global climate, and devastate economies. While a good indicator, the magnitude of an eruption does not always infer its impact. One of the most common ways to measure an eruption's devastation is by calculating the estimated loss of life. Deaths do not just occur from products of an eruption, but can also occur because of the loss of food.
Mount Tambora is an infamous volcano known for the year without summer at the west in 1816. A season supposed to be bright and warm turned to the cold and stormy nightmare. Mount Tambora is said to have been the deadliest volcanic eruption in the modern era, and was said to have taken about 120,000 lives. Tambora is located on Sumbawa Island, on the eastern end of the Indonesian archipelago. On April 5, 1851, it started its rumbling and continued erupting for at least 4 months. On the 10th of April in the same year, it caused an explosion that sent volcanic ash 40 kilometers in the air. Almost the entire population of Tambora province was killed by the volcanic eruptions. More than 10,000 people died as a result of this.
When the floodwaters reached the sea, tsunamis erupted, wreaking havoc on nearby communities. In a vast area around Tambora, lighter volcanic debris such as ash and dust prevents the light from reaching the earth. Falling ashes subsequently blanketed the area, obliterating all vegetation and killing up to 80,000 people on the surrounding islands due to famine and illness. More than 90,000 people were killed as a direct result of the Tambora volcanic eruption. However, this was not only specific in the country. Its terror spread to other parts of the world as well. In its eruption, Mount Tambora emitted 10 to 12 million tons of sulfur into the atmosphere, causing the global temperature to drop. It also caused a veil to form in the northeast of the South United States. It was not dispersed by wind or rainfall, and it reddened and dimmed sunlight to an extent that sunspots were visible to the naked eye.
After 4th of June 1816, when there were frosts in Connecticut, cold weather expanded over most of New England. On June 6, 1816, it snowed in Albany, New York, and Dennisville in Maine. Similar conditions persisted for at least 3 months, ruining most crops across North America, while Canada experienced extreme cold. Snow fell until 10th of June near in Quebec City, accumulating 30 centimeters. His severe crop failures struck Europe just as it was recovering from the impacts of the Napoleonic Wars. In Ireland, endured its great famine. The monsoon season in India was disrupted, while China was affected by disastrous floods.
We all knew what is a volcano, and we also knew the most destructive volcanic eruption that was experienced here in Earth. What I am telling you next is the preparation and actions you should do before, during, and after a volcanic eruption. We're going to tackle first about what to do before a volcanic eruption. These are some of the helpful guide for everyone. First is evacuate immediately. If you live or staying within the radius of affected areas, long before the explosion, affected areas would have been given a warning to evacuate the premises by local government units. Next is to stay tuned. Stay tuned to national news and your local community's channels to be on top of the situation, and stay informed with local safety plans and evacuation areas. Whether it's through local radio, TV news, or official social channels of news outlets, make sure that you're getting reliable information from trusted sources and not potentially dangerous misinformation from hoax accounts. Also, change your electronics. Keep your mobile devices and power banks charged in case of power interruptions. Then, you should know the disaster hotlines and other emergency hotlines. Save these numbers in your mobile phone. 911 is for National Emergency Hotline. 117 is for Philippine National Police. 0284261468 is for PHIVOLCS. 0287902300 is for Philippine Red Cross. 0284260246 is for Bureau of Fire Protection. 0289115061 is for National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC. To know the complete list of government hotlines, click this link below. And lastly, prepare a go bag in case of evacuation. This should include the following: a mask per person, a 95 or makeshift, copies of personal documents, phone and power banks, flashlights and batteries or candles and matches, 3 gallons of potable water per person, 3 days worth of non-perishable food, hygiene and sanitation items, first aid kit and maintenance medication, and also extra cash.
We are going to tackle the next about what to do during a volcanic eruption. First is to use a N95 dust mask to protect yourself from pulmonary-respiratory injuries and disease. If these are unavailable, use a damp handkerchief or makeshift one from an old t-shirt. Second, protect your skin and eyes with proper clothing and glasses or goggles. Ashfall is sharp and abrasive, so don't rub if any comes into contact with your skin or eyes. If you are outside, seek cover immediately in case of a rock or ashfall. If you are inside, stay tuned to the news and keep informed of recent developments. Close all doors and windows, dampen curtains to keep fine particles from coming through. If you are driving a vehicle, pull over and stop if there is a heavy ashfall. You should cover food and water containers to avoid contamination with ash. And wash all utensils thoroughly before eating. Fine ash particles may have settled on them. Lastly, stay away from rivers or streams to avoid lahar flow.
And lastly, we're going to tackle about what to do after a volcanic eruption occurs. First, do not leave your home or in the shelters until notified by the local government that it's safe to do so. Evacuate to safer grounds only when notified. Second, is to keep a watchful eye on your kids or loved ones who may be tempted to go out to see what's going on outside. Also, wear protection such as masks, glasses or goggles, long-sleeve pants, and shoes when clearing out ash to protect your lungs, skin, and eyes. Then clean your gutters and roof with water after clearing out the ash to prevent corrosion. And lastly, wait for further announcement from LGUs or national news related to the volcanic eruption.